What is interpersonal communication? Interpersonal communication is a transactional process by which communicators continuously and simultaneously exchange messages through multiple channels in order to create a shared meanings. So this would be like in a group of people, there's all kinds of communication going on. It's not just to one person. There's like senders, receivers, communicators. There's encoding, decoding. There's messages. There's feedbacks. There's different channels. There's noise, and then there's the environment. A communicator is the one who is the one making the message, and then the sender is the one who again makes the messages and says is the one who gives the message to the receiver. The receiver is the one who interprets and encodes the message, or decodes the message. I apologize. The sender is the one doing the encoding. So then we talk about the three primary views of communication. There's the linear view, and this is when there's a sender and a receiver. It's a one-way process where the sender constructs and transmits a message to a relatively passive receiver who decodes it. It's generally not really face-to-face, or it's very technology-based, so text messages, emails, things like that. There's not really any feedback either. I noticed personally that I do this a lot, and instead of meeting with someone, I'll be like, hey, let's just message each other on Facebook. And that's okay, but it's not the most effective way to communicate. And I think that's one thing that I have learned that I need to improve on, is really making sure that my communication is better. And we'll get into ways to improve that here in a minute. The interactional view, it's a two-way process, so there's a sender and a receiver, but the receiver is more effective, and there's given feedback where if they misunderstand, then they'll ask for clarification, or give it doesn't even have to be verbal, it can be physical feedback too. And then the communication is complete when the receiver's feedback indicates that they understand. So when they're all on the same page, that means that they're complete. Then there's the transactional view, and as a communicator, you send the message and receive the message from yourself or the person that you're communicating. Communicators are interdependent, and they co-construct shared meanings by continuously exchanging messages. So I think interactional is the most effective, and I have, going through this class and working with my peers, I've really focused on being an interactional communicator, and just really contributing myself to what is going on and making sure that I understand everything that is happening. So we have ways to improve. Well, actually, let's start with, what do individuals that are interpersonally competent have? They use communication skills that are appropriate and suitable for people in the situation involved. So ebonics or things like that, those aren't really present. They're very professional and speaking in a way and communicating in a way that everyone understands, or changing the way they communicate so that everyone understands. And these skills are effective in achieving that goals. Okay, so ways to improve your communication. I think one of the biggest ways, or one of the biggest ways to improve your communication is knowing where your communication could get better. So if you, like I said, I know that I, as a listener, and I don't always get feedback, and if I don't understand, I'll just be like, okay, you know, if I don't understand, then it doesn't matter, I'll figure it out later. I think, so realizing that you don't know what's going on and you don't understand, and being able to show, like, oh, I don't understand, so I need to be able to understand, that helps a lot in that. So you can look at that and work on improving that yourself. I think that's the biggest way to improve. I think this is the most important aspect in collaboration is the communication. And so, like going through this class, I have learned that I have to become a better communicator, and I've really been working strongly on that. And when I get into the classroom, when I become a teacher and working in like IEP meetings or things like that, I will focus on being a good communicator and a leader in a way that everyone communicates, and getting everyone to buy in and communicate effectively so that we can achieve a goal.